Hello, hello, my stamping friends. It's Leslie with Love, Ink, and Paper. I have a lot of colorful, crafty fun to share with you. I think we're just about at 7 o'clock. Oh, we got a little bit of time. Not a lot, just a little bit, just a few minutes. So let's let you take a look at this. This is tonight. I will be closing this out. I got an order yesterday that I want to make sure it gets here sooner rather than later. So I need to go ahead and close this out. So I will have a new host code for you all next week. The other important information, I will post this on the page and stuff, is I will be postponing my live next week from Tuesday to Wednesday, right? That is because next Wednesday, September 6th, will be the first day that you can order out of the September to December mini catalog. All right, so I will do a little catalog launch. I'll take you on a little tour, show you some samples I've made with my goodies and all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so we're gonna, next week, the live will move from Tuesday to Wednesday. All right, so are we all good? I think we are. We are at 7 o'clock. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to remind you that you have 2 more days to get your kits. So if you haven't, go ahead and get them and let me know what your questions are so I can help you answer them and we can get that taken care of for you. Okay? All right. So here we go. So here's a question, and maybe, and I will stand up and see if I get any answers. I'm just kind of curious if you guys like to see the cards before I do my stamping, or if you sort of like to go up through the process and then see the extra samples. So just, if you have a second, just throw the answer in the comments and let me know what you think. Because I have some fun samples that I made, or I can show you how we're going to go about it, and then I can show you the samples later. Just kind of giving it a second to see if I see anybody pop an answer up. You may not get a choice. I may make the decision for you. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to show you one. And then, oh, where did my other one go? Uh-oh. Oh, here it is. It got buried. Okay, so I'll show you one. And then, isn't that pretty? And then we'll talk about how we got the result that we got. I'll share and make one with you. And then I'll show you the other samples. I've got a couple more. Okay. So this one used the Darling Details flowers. And this saying came from Color and Contour. It's one of my favorites. Thank you for everything. Okay. All right. So what did I use to make that fun card? Well, I used some of our blending brushes. Okay, I used some stamp pads, and I used some stamps, and I used some of our masking paper. So masking paper is a lightweight paper. It's got sticky on one side, okay, and you can stamp or sponge or whatever. You'll see I stamped some monkeys. I could cut those out and put them on top of a stamped monkey, and then it wouldn't look like the branch is going through his hands, like his hands aren't transparent or something. So anyway, masking paper is great stuff. Great stuff. So the other samples I have made went in the landscape position. This time I'm going to take the paper. I'm going to use some Very Vanilla. And I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And sticking to my light post over here, or my is my masking paper. I'm going to go, these are centimeters or something, 1/2 centimeter blocks. So I'm going to go 4, well, sort of, almost 5. So I'm going to line up down here and put that there. Okay. And then I'm going to take the other one and go up here like this. 1, 2, 3. And get this one like that. So this will have a taller, narrower, colored, like ombre kind of thing, whereas these were narrower this way and all the way across. All right. So these have now been used 1, 2, 3. This is the 3rd time these are sticking down. So some of the sticky has worn off. Before I used them the first time, I stuck them to my clothes and a couple of times just to, you want it to stick down, but you don't want it so sticky that it's tearing your paper. Okay, and you'll see when I remove this, I'm very careful. All right, let's start with the top, and let's start with crushed curry. Okay. We'll get some crushed curry on there. I'm going to start off so I don't have a big blob. And then I'm just going to come on to here. And I'm really hoping that by changing the height and stuff of this stand, this camera stand, that it is not wiggling you guys all over the place, that you're not getting seasick or anything. I would not like that. All right, so I'm going to go pretty heavy right along that edge, and then I'm just going to bring that down just a little bit. Okay. That's pretty darn good. All right, then we're going to change over to our copper clay. Now this is a pretty strong ink. Copper clay is a pretty dark color. So I'm going to go carefully. So I'm not going to try and pick up too much ink. And I'm going to tap some of it off because it's quite dark. And then I'm going to really start off the edge and get rid of some of that before I go on here. Okay, and I can bring some up a little bit. That kind of blends that orange, the copper clay, and the crushed curry. There we go. All right. What does that need to get washed? So I know you guys see some demonstrators that have labels and stuff, and I've talked about this before. I don't do that. These brushes are so easy to clean that I just go rinse them in the sink and let them dry overnight, and they're fine. So anyway, all right, we'll take some, this is Old Olive, because, you know, fall doesn't, you know, it doesn't go, the green doesn't go away immediately. Okay, it eases into those other colors, which is good. We're glad about that it doesn't go away all at once. So anyway, so we'll put some Old Olive in there. I'm not going to use Granny Apple Green or something, because that's a very light, springy kind of green. I'll wait till April to be doing that. But here we're going to just, and you'll notice that we get almost a little bit of brown if we blend that copper clay and the old olive, because green and red makes brown. So you want to be careful about certain things. Okay, but you could do this. So I chose fall colors for today. You could certainly do shades of pink. You could certainly do sort of a sunset kind of thing. You could do, you'll see in another card I did shades of blue. So it just, whatever you like is fine. Okay, so now it's time to remove our masking paper. So I'm going to just start over here. Doesn't matter which side, that just happened to have a loose corner. And I'm going to very carefully peel. Notice that my fingers are staying close to where I'm peeling. I'm not yanking, okay? Kind of like tearing. You don't want to just go at it hard and just yank, because you will have a problem, okay? And it does come off kind of curly and whatever, it's okay. And I just stick it to the wall or the camera stand or whatever is close, okay? And you get this really fun soft line. Now, if you want a firm line, you can have that. If you want, you would just use one of the straight edges and you wouldn't tear it like this. I wanted this sort of torn, rough edge. Now I think we can get rid of that messy thing. I may have to bring it back. Depends a little bit on this. Okay, so also earlier today, and I'm not sure how wet this is, I can try spritzing it and see if that helps to rejuvenate that ink. I put some spots of re-inker. So I used a few of my colors, Cajun Craze and Crushed Curry and a little Cherry Cobbler. So you can add a little bit more if we want. Okay. And then, yeah, we'll just add a little of that. So this is just a baby wipe folded in quarters. Okay. Okay. So we'll just put that on there. And then I have, I thought I had, oh, here it is. There we go. All right, so we have a piece of cardstock that I can use this leaf. I'm just going to kind of get some color on that. Oh, that's very red. Hang on. I'm going to wipe it off on the edge here and see if I can get a little more of that crushed curry. Oh, that's pretty. All right, let's try down here. Okay, so we're getting lots of those beautiful colors, which is really fun. Okay, so we'll just set that over there and that can get ready to be cleaned. So I'm going to leave you with a beautiful card and our background for just a moment while I quickly die cut these leaves. I hate to put my die cut. Well, you know what? I'll bring the mini and hope I don't shake you to death. Okay, we'll move this out of the way. I'll bring in my little mini. Okay. And, yep, that'll work. So with this one, because it's so small, it's geared pretty tight. I don't know if you have one of these, you may know this. So what you need to do is you want to not have your die right at the start, and you also want to stagger your plates. Okay? So, I'm gonna just get that there. And I'm actually gonna tear off a piece of this masking paper and use it. This is another great use for this. Okay, just use that. And then I'm going to move that. And let's see, are you wiggling all over? A little bit, sorry. All right, so we have that. I think I'm going to try something different. I'm not loving that look for what I want. So here's the other thing. I'm going to try stamping the outline of the leaf. Okay, so we'll leave that there for just a second, but I think we'll go with the copper clay, and I'll just stamp that. Oh, I like this better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay. Alrighty. Then, actually, I think I'm going to I know, you would think that I would have had this all set, and I thought I did, but, alright, this is going to be a good size, and I still have some space on this piece over here. And I'll just cut it from the back side. Alright, let's real quick get a stylish circle. Alright, here we go. Now, just like you can use your sponge or a sponge dauber or something, you can take your blending brush and just sort of flick the edges like this, and it just gives it a little bit of definition. Makes it a little easier to see that stitching, or the faux stitching. Okay, so see how that just kind of highlighted that. I didn't add a lot, just a little. And this is a greeting from the season of chic, which is where I'm getting these from. I'm using the Wishing You the Best Birthday Ever, which I really like. And I have a nephew who has a birthday coming up in September. So I have a brother with a birthday coming up in December, and a niece. Like it's a busy month. All right. So let's put that over here. And boy, do I wish I had a little piece of ribbon or something. But I didn't bring that. We'll see. I wonder how it would look. I did some other ones the other day. Oh, I kind of like that. Okay. Gonna just put a couple of dimensionals right there to help hold those. One here, one there. But I have something else I want to do. Okay. Because this stamp set also has this really fun, well, you can't probably see it, speckled. So I'm going to take the green, the old olive, and I'm just going to put some speckles. That may be enough. Ooh, I almost made a mess. There. Okay, I think that's good. Alrighty. Toss those over there. Take these backings off. And put that right there. Oh, I don't know. I might want a little bit more right there. Like that. Yep, that's exactly what it needed. It just looked bare. Those couple of spots were perfect. All right, let's put this together. So right here I have a piece of copper clay, a old olive base, and a little piece. Oh, we're gonna have to stamp on the inside of that. So this, these are just sort of standard layers, okay? So don't get all freaked out that I haven't provided you measurements. Oh, you can't really see on this one. Here, let me lift. I'll just go to the ruler on the next one. I think you can see under there. So I have a standard base that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Okay. So then your next layer down, your next smaller layer, unless you're doing the 1/8 thing, which I don't do unless I have to. It's very hard to get it even. It's just I don't do 1/8. It's too small usually. So this is 4 this way by 5 1/4. So I just took a 1/4 of an inch off of each side. Okay, and then this layer is 3 3/4 by 5. So I went down another 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that's how I layer my cards. I've layered my cards with those layers for so long that those measurements are in, like, I don't think my brain is ever going to forget those. I think I could live to be 120 and not forget those measurements. People go, how do you know that? So, well, because after 21 years, or almost 21 years, next month it'll be 21 years. Anyway, it's, yeah. Okay. So they're just in there. They're just in the brain forever. And I'm sure everybody has certain things like that, you know. If you're a knitter, you can walk up and you can feel a yarn and know exactly what weight it is. Like, everybody has something. Bakers can measure with, you know, oh, that's a teaspoon of salt or whatever, which I couldn't do for the life of me. Anyway, let's get this dirty one just for a minute. Let's grab my blending brush here, and I'm just going to go, I've just got the crushed curry and a little bit, see, I'm just going to add a little color to this corner. Not a lot, just a little bit. And then we're going to take that copper clay and we're going to stamp one of our leaves. Oop, not that leaf. That's the solid leaf. I don't want that one. Just going to stamp this in the corner. And then we can put that on the inside. Right? After we get rid of that dirty mess. Okay. So there. So that's how you do that. So a little masking paper. Now you can use Stampin' Up's masking paper. You can use Post-it notes. Couple of things you want to remember though. You want to make sure that you are covering everything that you don't want to get inky. All right. So you don't want to have like your masking paper be this tall and have stuff over there, because if you slip, you're gonna regret it. Okay, I promise. So make sure that when you are doing that, you are just gonna give this a really good crease. It just keeps wanting to come open. Oh, so much better. So you want to just make sure that whatever you are masking off is completely masked off. Okay, if that means using a couple of Post-it notes, use a couple of Post-it notes. If that means extending the masking paper, then do that. But make sure that you don't leave anything exposed that you don't want ink on. Okay. All right, so there's the one we just made together. Here's the first one I showed you. And here's another one using the cottage wreath and that thank you for everything greeting from Color and Contour, and then 3 of the little leaves die cut out of Old Olive, and that could be Cajun Craze, I think. It's brighter than the copper clay. I think that's Cajun Craze. And the crushed curry. So another really fun way to do that, okay? And you don't have to only use fall colors, okay? Look, I got our bear out, our berry cute bear, and I did tones of blue. So I started with boho blue, went to misty moonlight, and then did just a very light layer of not quite navy. Ooh, that was a long time ago. We had that color, and it wasn't one of my favorites. Night of Navy. Night of Navy has been my #1 favorite color from Stampin' Up for a long, long time. So Night of Navy Snowflakes, Night of Navy Bear, and then this fun label shape comes from the All That dies. Okay, so really fun. So, wow, we were speedy tonight. That's because I did a lot of the stamping this afternoon after school. Came right here from being, well, I wasn't the art teacher yet. I was still setting up the art room. Tomorrow we have kids. Tomorrow I get to teach art, which will be a lot of fun. So there's those. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me pop up here and just see. I'm not seeing comments, and I'm not sure why. And I don't want to do too much and do something bad. So anyway, I don't want to lose all of you. Anyway, so that is fun. If you do have questions, make sure you put them in the comments or whatever, and I will, I always go back through and look at those and try to answer. Even if you just say hi, I try to say hello back. It's just, I just like to do that, and I enjoy knowing that you have shared some crafty fun with me, whether it's here live or in the replay. You can just type replay in the comment, or watching it on YouTube. Whatever works for you is great. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Tearing a torn edge, I think, is really fun, and I just think it gives the illusion of a layer when there isn't one. And yeah, I just think it's a lot of fun. So if you haven't tried it, you should. It's well worth trying. So, all right, thanks you guys. I remember next week, no Tuesday, Wednesday for the catalog launch. Okay? All right, take care. Bye-bye.